Hello, and welcome to this video made by me, Anomalous T, where I talk and you listen while I play a game. It's that exciting. So I know I just said that I wasn't gonna be posting a lot of videos, and I'm gonna come out with two real quick, and this is the second one. And I know, but it's Labor Day weekend, and if you're not from the States, then Labor Day is this holiday we have that I don't really know what it means or why we have it, but we get the day off. So I've got a little extra free time to be recording and such, so I want to take advantage of it. Plus I'm happy with where this Eladwen deck is. That's the other thing. I have to have a deck to record. But here we go, we're starting a match. I'm playing against another Eladwen. She's got a little big deck. She has a little bit of a big deck. Brain damaged is the person. But we can talk about stuff when we get into it. Okay, so let's... okay, so I've run into this situation a lot with this deck where I have a Tome of Knowledge and a Tainted Oracle. And it's like, can I sacrifice one? Blah, blah, blah. I like sacrificing this Tainted Oracle, if I'm going second. Because I have a lot of cards already. Turn 4, I can play that Tome of Knowledge and draw a card. I don't mind getting rid of a Tainted Oracle there, especially against an Eladwen who isn't going to have item destruction. I actually, if I'm going against like a Lance, let's say, or a Zana, like, I know they're gonna have item destruction. Focus Prayer, Stop Thief. I might make a little different choice, but going against the Eladwen there, that's okay. Let's get rid of this Consuming Fear. Ah, man, I don't like any of this. Let's just play Tome of Knowledge. I probably should have... I didn't realize she played a Blake. Well, I already did that. Okay. So it's like a Rush Eladwen. Which this is not. My Eladwen is not a Rush deck. I don't know. I might make a Rush deck just to like make one and be like, hey, this is a Rush deck. But I don't like them. I don't like playing as them. They're not... It's like if the Rush doesn't work, you're screwed. So I don't really like that aspect of it, I guess. Okay, so let's get rid of this Champion of Irum. It's like whatever. Let's play the Aldon. Now the big part here is if I play that Champion of Irum, the Blake's just gonna kill it, but the Blake can't kill the Aldon. And it's also interesting, she didn't play a card last turn, so that's a little weird. But yeah, so this deck is so standard. It's boring. I'm disappointed in it. Not that it's not bad. I would suggest if like you're a newer player and you're looking at Eladwen as a hero, which in my opinion is the best hero to start with. If you're like, oh man, I'm really struggling with so and so, and you're like, you just started a profile, just create a new one, get Eladwen as your starting hero. I think she's the easiest to learn, the easiest to start, doing other stuff. Okay, so let's get... She hasn't played a lot of other cards, so I'm gonna get rid of this Supernova, and I'm gonna waste a Fireball on this Blake. I think. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to draw a card, and we're going to use my ability. I have 2 Fireballs. I have to use my ability on allies anyway. I just want to get rid of that Blake. I'm poisoned. The thing about Rush decks is other decks you can kind of sit there, and if they have an ally on the board, you can kind of like, well, I'll deal with them next turn. You really can't do that with Rush decks because now all of a sudden, let's say I don't kill that Blake. I'm down to 16 health. Next turn, I'll be down to 15. Let's say she uses a Supernova. I'm already down to 10 health. Like that quickly. So, you kind of have to maybe make some not the best moves in the world because of that. So let's get rid of this Tome of Knowledge, and let's just play the Paladin, which I might actually use his ability on me, which would be like a first. I don't think I've ever used his ability at all, but I'm trying to think. We can talk about why I chose the Paladin over maybe some other allies I could have. But let's see what she does, and then on my turn I can discuss some things. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I am kind of tired, I will admit. I'm a little tired right now, so... But it's recording time, and I want to, like... I don't know... Again, if you didn't know, because you didn't watch my previous video, I don't know when I'm going to be having time, if any, to be doing these. So, we're getting to right here. Hopefully I'm talking about a lot of stuff, but we'll... Whatever. Okay, so let's just get rid of one of these Puwens. Whatever. Well, at the end of the match, I'll show you the deck, and I'll talk about all the cards. I kind of like doing that, because it, you know, it's whatever. Okay, so let's use his ability. I'm not going to play the Aeon. I don't really feel like I need to. We're actually going to use his ability. We're going to play this Puwen, and we're going to draw a card. Mainly because the thing I find with Eladwen and Gravebone, I'll extend it to Gravebone. I haven't played Gravebone in a long time, because I've been doing all these other heroes. But when you get Tome of Knowledge out, you should really be drawing a card every turn. Like, just every turn, you should try to have 2 resources left over to draw a card. Now, you don't always do that. That's not always the best idea, but, you know, that's what I try to do. That's what's going through my head. Yeah. Well, I'll do the deck thing at the end, if you want to look at the deck. I think that's probably what the format's going to be now, is it's going to be play a match, and I can discuss, you know, what I'm sacrificing and the choices I make with that. Like, we're going to get rid of this Lightning Strike because she hasn't played an ally, and I don't know if she even has any, so I'm like, whatever. Let's just attack here. Now, I don't really care about getting rid of this fire because I'm pretty sure it doesn't do any damage to either of these guys anyway because of his ability. So, whatever. We're going to draw a card. Always draw a card first. And then we're just going to throw a fireball. I have 3, so it's usually you want to keep them for allies and such, or like more opportune situations, but I have 3, so I'm good. But yeah, I don't really remember what I was talking about. Whatever. I rewatch these videos and I get off track and whatever, but I'm hopefully imparting some useful knowledge, you know, at some point. He's going to use a Supernova, which is fine with me. Man, if I had a static discharge or charge or whatever that thing's called, I could win, but whatever. So what we're going to do here, I guess one of the concepts I want to like talk about real quick, if you don't know it or you're not doing it, you really want to like add up things in your head. So like right now, I see my play. I see, okay, Tome of Knowledge, which is going to be 2, Consuming Fear on the Dirk, which is going to be 2, and a Fireball on the Hero, which is going to be 3, which adds up to 7. So there's no reason to sacrifice a card here. And you can draw a card first, but I don't think that's going to change what I do. I just get another Fireball. So, you know, if you're not doing that, I'd suggest you do that, because you want to make sure, A, you have enough resources for what you want to do in your turn, and B, you're not like, you know, okay, I have 7 resources. That's good. I really don't need to be like going up to 8, 9, 10. I mean, some games you do, but not this one. You know, so I want to make sure that, okay, I want to draw a card, play a Fireball, and play Consuming Fear. If I have 6 resources, okay, let me try to sacrifice a card so I can do that play. And if I have 7, well, there's no reason to, like, make a decision and get rid of a card when I can already do what I want to do. So, you know, I always suggest that, and, you know, it might be hard at the beginning. I even still mess up. now. I feel like should be really good at it, but yeah, I mess up all the time. Okay, so this is the end of this match. Man, how long was that? That wasn't very long. We might look at the deck and then play another match real quick. Oh yeah, I can't do this thing. Okay, I'll cut it so we can. So I'm just gonna get rid of this Tainted Oracle. I don't know why. But yeah, this was the match. So let me cut real quick because I want to see how long this video has been. Okay, I'm back. It was a real small cut. It's only been 10 minutes. And, man, 10 minutes is long for a YouTube video, but my videos are really long. I don't really care. Should they be shorter? Would you want them to be shorter? I think 20 minutes is a good time frame. Well, what I think I'm going to do is I have this recording time. Let's talk about the deck, and I'll record a separate match for you. Just real quick. Well, not real quick, and then I'll try to space them out. I might do 3 if I have enough time. I don't know. It's kind of getting late, but whatever. I have the time. Okay, so let's take a look at the deck. So I guess I want to start off with. I started building this deck, and the idea I had in my head was, okay, I'm gonna put in lots of high health allies. So let's look at the allies real quick. So for example, not Aeon, like Spirit Warden because it's got 5, and Fleet-Footed Messenger because it's got 5, and Gunther right here because he's got 9, and I put in Armored Sandworm because he's got his armor ability. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put in allies, and not that many. I only had like 14, maybe. So I mean a good amount, but not 20. 20 is usually kind of the standard in my mind. Like if you have an allied. If you have a deck with allies in it, you have about 20. And I thought, okay, I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to put just a bunch of spells and like ability cards. So I had just a bunch of spells. So let's look at my abilities. So I had, not these. I don't really like these. But I had Supernova. I had Arcane Burst in there. I had Meteor Shower. I had Sever Ties, which I didn't see. I think I played around with this Static Shock. I didn't really like it. So I was trying to okay. So the point was, I'm going to have lots of abilities. I'm just going to keep, let's play an ally that's going to have a lot of health. So the hero or whatever has to focus on that ally. And then just keep playing abilities to destroy the other allies. And keep damaging the hero. So that was the thought process in my mind when I was building this deck. Well, I built that and I played matches and it was really frustrating. I would win some really well, and other matches I would be playing against a deck that I knew was okay. It wasn't a great deck, and they were making some bad decisions, and I was still losing. It was really frustrating. So I've edited it, I kept editing it. You keep editing decks all the time. Whatever, I ended up with this. So it's not as interesting, it's more straightforward. I would like to build a more interesting Eladwen deck. I was thinking maybe trying something with the Shatter Ice. I really, see this deck, it really doesn't have many interesting cards. Maybe this one is the only one that not a lot of people are going to include, but whatever, let's just go through each card real quick and talk about it. Okay, so my 2 CCs are, I got 2 Puwens and I got 2 Champion of Irums. I think that's a really good split for a lot of the human decks, because then you have different options and different things, and it's a nice split. And plus the thing I don't like about putting just 4 Champion of Irums is they're unique, so you can't play 2. So sometimes I want to overload the board. I have 2 Puwens and I have 6 resources, so I want to play the 2 Puwens and draw a card with Tome of Knowledge. That's the play I want to do, and you can't do that if all your cards are Champion of Irums. Jasmine's a great 3cc ally. If you're ever oh my gosh, I don't know, Jasmine. Same for Aldon. I like to just have 2. I think there's one deck that I've got 3, but I think 2, he's good, but I think Jasmine's so much better, so whatever. Tainted Oracle for a little bit of a draw if I don't get Tome of Knowledge out. And that's really my draw. Tome of Knowledge and Tainted Oracle. I find that to work well enough in most cases. Even if they're destroying the Tome of Knowledge, it's just enough. Just enough, kind of. Okay, so I got 2 Aeons. The reason that it's not a Gunther is I do have quite a bit of allies. I think I counted it up, and I've got close to 20, so... You know, in my opinion, if you've got, like... If you're looking at, like, 10 to 14 allies, you can include Gunther. I feel like he's better in those kind of decks than Aeon, but once you start getting up to around 16, 18 allies, I think Aeon's better. If you're going to include a 6cc ally, you don't even have to. Okay, then we got 4 Fireballs, 4 Lightning Strikes. Those are great. Tome of Knowledge. Supernova. Supernova is a great card. If you don't play with Supernova, it takes a little while to learn. You really have to like be careful with it, and it gets kind of confusing, like when you should sacrifice it and when you should keep it. But I remember it's a struggling card, but it's very helpful if you learn how to use it like correctly, because it has so many uses. It can be a board clear. It can do 5 damage to like the opponent. I don't know how many times it's like your opponent has 5 or less health and you've like 6 or 7, and it's Supernova and you win. Like, it doesn't matter like what cards they play. They could have like made some great play and taken back the board, but you have a Supernova. So I really like Supernova. 2 Ley Line Nexus just for some item destruction. The mages are really hurting in item destruction, so just to have something. It's not great, but I don't know what else I would really do. I do use it, but I don't know. I don't really like it. I want a better option. Okay, we got 2 Snow Sapphires. This has gotten me out of like a ton of jams. So I feel like this card is so helpful against my weaknesses, which would be like the warriors are usually pretty good against mages, and Dark Claw I would say is pretty good against mages. Not Moonstalker, but Dark Claw is. Snow Sapphire is so helpful because it freezes the hero. Oh man. Okay, we got Champion of Irum. 3 Consuming Fears. This card gets sacrificed a lot. It's more if like I'm in a position where I can just throw it on someone and not worry about them. I use this card incorrectly sometimes just because I don't know, but usually it's like if there's something and I have a Consuming Fear and I can't like figure out how to destroy it, I usually just try to throw that on there and then forget about it. Like, whatever, he'll eventually die, or he'll eventually do this, or that's how I kind of play that card. And then I got Paladin of Unaxio, which this is the card I wanted to talk about a little more in depth, even though I'm talking about this deck pretty in depth. So I like to have 4 of 5cc allies. It doesn't have to be 1, but whatever. Raven, she disabling allies isn't very helpful in this deck because I have so many spells and so many other cards anyway that I can usually kill them, and disabling them isn't very helpful. So that's why she's not in there. Let's go to Armored Sandworm. I'll talk about why he's not in there. Earthen Protector, if I had more of a focus on maybe allies or better allies, I like him. I think he needs to be in more decks. I think it's a really good, very underused card. He's maybe harder to use, but anyway. Braxnorian Soldier, he's whatever. I don't really care about Haste. Haste hasn't been a problem. So, I don't know. And yeah, oh, and then we got this Frosted Uragon. But what I like about Paladin is he's got 6 health. The Frosted Uragon's only got 5, so that's why. Plus, okay, the only thing I want to mention is if you have him out and another ally, it makes using Supernova a little less damaging. So, you know, it only does 4, it's only going to do 4 damage to you. It's only going to do 4 damage to this Paladin. And it'll only do 4 damage to any other allies. it's nice. It's like a small thing that rarely comes into play, but I've had it come into play before. Okay, so that's the deck. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I mean, there's tons of stuff I want to talk about, but I try to keep these things short. Or as short as possible, whatever. Well, I mean, not as short as possible, but, I don't want, like, an hour-long video or something. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe, as always. Bye.